What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. We're also going to get into some altcoins as well. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $46,410. We're up about 1.5%. What I wanted to really do was step back here, guys, take a look on the one-day time frame for Bitcoin. We may dig in a little bit closer on some of the smaller time frames. But for right now, the main thing that I'm watching is this back test on top of this triangle. So if you see here, guys, we've had this long triangle that we spent almost 2 months in. We broke out to the upside. It was on a little bit above average volume. I still would have liked to see a little bit more volume. I like the candle that we got. But what we've had is our back test or our throwback. And now what we want to do is try to get up and moving through this $47,000 to $48,000 range. It's going to be a big area as well as this $52,000 area. But if we're able to clear these spots here, you can see on the VPVR here, there's a big gap. And that gap almost runs all the way up to around $60,000 if we're able to get through this main area, this point of control that we're looking at here that's in red. So this was around $47,400. And right now we're sitting at $46,400. So we still have some work to do. You don't want to get too excited, but I do like the fact that we got out of this triangle to the upside. I would have just liked to see it come on a little bit more volume. Now, if we step back, another important thing here is to throw on our pivots, and I want to show you the main areas of resistance. So right now we need to get up through 48,240. Then it's going to be up to around that $52,100. And also, guys, as we continue to get into this, if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Just going to try to point out the main key things that you need to pay attention to this weekend, with the weekly candle close coming up as well, guys. So definitely something you want to keep an eye on. So next, if we pull our pivots off and we throw on our moving averages, what you can see is that I use the F EMA. So they're going to be EMAs are going to be a little bit faster than our traditional moving averages, because I know we did get stuffed at the 200-day moving average here, but we are trading up above our 20 EMA, our 50, and our 200 here in white. So that's a good thing. That's what I wanted to see here. It had been quite a long time since we have traded up above that, guys. And if I just get some stuff out of the way here, this VPVR, what you see is that we haven't traded above this 200 EMA roughly since about December 28th, 2021. So the fact that we traded this entire time below it, and now that we've gotten up above it, back tested it, we need to get moving now, because sometimes these back tests can hurt performance as opposed to just breaking out. So we want to get moving again here. So what we're going to need to do is have this be our higher low. We don't want to drop much below. I call it about $44,200. It's going to be the main area. We want this our higher low. Then we want to get follow through to the upside. Okay, so we're going to look at roughly about that 44,000 for support in terms of overhead resistance. We got to get through 48, and then it's going to be up to around that 52. If we can get over those, we could really have a nice run to the upside here and test some of those higher levels in the weeks and months to come here. Okay, so really watch these levels, guys. See if we can hold on to this. See if this is our daily higher low there around that 44,000. All right, so that's going to be Bitcoin. Next one we're going to take a look at is Ethereum. ETH right now at 3,492. If we step back, something nice we have going for us, which we haven't seen in a long time, guys. We had our 20, which is getting ready, our 20 EMA ready to cross up through our 200 here. This has not happened if we step back here. So we had it right in this range here, guys, and this was back around $2,000. From that point on, we ran all the way up to that $4,800. Then once we crossed back down to the downside here, we really got pushed to the downside. So just taking a look at this, guys, we had our downward cross. This was December 14th, 2021, right? And now we've had our upwards cross March 25th, 2022. So these things are important because we're trying to change that trend, right? We had our massive downtrend. We've been in a symmetrical triangle, essentially, just building this base, trying to hit an accumulation area here, and now we're trying to get out of that. So we're trading up above our 20, trading up above our 50, trading up above our 200 there of my EMAs, which is good. In terms of overhead resistance, we're going to have to get up through about $3,800. Then I'd look up to that $4,000 psychological level. Same deal if we turn on our VPVR here. If it'll show up for me. So guys, right here, we kind of have this little gap area that we've been messing with here. So if we're able to continue to hold this $3,400 area, it may give us a shot up to about $3,800, and then it's going to be this $4,000 resistance area right over here where we had a lot of fighting between the bulls and the bears. So for Ethereum, we want this to be our higher low here. So we don't want to go much below about 32.05 is going to be there. You can see I have an alert here just to let me know if we do start dropping back down to the downside there, but right now things aren't looking too bad. If we take a look at our relative strength on the 1 day time frame right now, we are sitting at about 70, so a little bit higher there, but many times we know, guys, like back in here, you can stay pegged out at these higher levels. You can bounce between like 65 and 90 and just really work up high in that relative strength. So I really just kind of pay attention to price action and the higher highs and higher lows, just like in this trend back in here. You can see we had a lot of chop on the relative strength back and forth. So something I do keep an eye on, but I'm really just trading that price action right now. So looking at that price action, guys, we are still on a relative strength up above this moving average as well in yellow. So that's what we want to continue to see, just these nice strong upward movements. If we throw on our chandelier stops up to the upside here, so that's looking pretty good. No problem there. So guys, if you're here for ETH, let me know down low, and also let me know what you're doing this weekend or today. I would love to hear it. So next one we're going to take a look at is ADA. So ADA, we're at 117 right now. We have had our falling wedge breakout. If we step back in here, so we've really been monitoring this falling wedge. We broke out to the upside. It was on above average volume. I'd still like to see more volume, guys. I'm a bit of a volume snob. I really want to see these huge bars coming in when we do get these breakouts, but right now we've really just been moving sideways, consolidating a little bit. Our point of control is going to be about 105, so we definitely want to hold 105. In terms of overhead resistance, we need to get through 125. If we can crack 125 to 130, you can see this big gap yet again. And this big gap that we have, if we can really run here, this could take us all the way up to $2.12. I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but if we're able to get through this big point of control here, it could give us a window to move to the upside here. We've been suppressed for so long with ADA, guys, and when it does get these moves, this move back in here, this was about a month and a half, and we ended up putting on, let's see here, so our price range, so in about a month and a half, it went up 200%. So definitely something you have to keep an eye on. That when Cardano runs here, it runs very hard, very fast, and aggressively, so you kind of have to plan for these moves in advance. Right now, the relative strength is going to be at 66. So like we said, guys, hold about that 105, $1 area. In terms of overhead resistance, we got to get through that 125 are going to be the main areas for us. So that's going to be ADA. If we go on to the next one here, we're going to take a look at Litecoin. We're sitting at 126. Litecoin been a little bit more behind here. So you can see on the relative strength on the 1 day, we did break down through this yellow moving average. So we want to keep an eye on that. Our relative strength is at 59 right now. If we turn on our moving averages, we are still trading below this 200 EMA. And what I like to do is try to trade assets that are up above that. So in my opinion, it's a big deal when we get up above that and we turn into support, as opposed to having to try to break through that as overhead resistance, which can be pretty tricky sometimes, because we want to break through that, turn into support. So right now, guys, the main support area we'd be looking at is about 110 for Litecoin. Then it's going to be around that 125 are going to be our support areas. We are trading up above our 20 EMA and our 50, which is in red. We are just below this white 200 here. Okay, so we got to get up through that. It's going to be our resistance at about 142 is going to be the area, and then be up to around that 150 area, guys. And you can see, I mean, if Litecoin really gets a strong move out of here and we can reclaim this 200 there, the next area we'd look up to is about 183 is going to be a big area for us. And then we have this big gap underneath or over top here that you want to look at. But what Litecoin's trying to do here is just change the trend, guys. We want to change the trend, lower highs, lower lows, and now we're trying to push up higher highs, and higher lows are going to be the main things that we're looking for there. So guys, next one we're going to take a look at is Sol. So Sol's at 137 right now. It's made a really nice move. I've been playing more so just day trading Sol in and out of it. So right now we are up above our 20, we're up above our 50, we're up above our 200, so that's all looking good. VPVR, we're heading into some resistance here, and that's going to be about 138 up to around that 160 are going to be the next overhead resistance areas that we're going to have to watch out for. In terms of support, I'd look for about 120 to hold, then it's going to be down to around 112 are going to be the areas for us. Relative strength is going to be at 78, so getting a little bit more extended there. We are up above our moving average. Still going strong here, guys. If we want to have some cool down, that's no problem at all. You know, you can see this nice rounded bottom that we're trying to build here for Sol. And guys, many times what I like to do is really step back and take a big picture look at this. And what I'll do is throw our fib on. What I want to do is just measure this last move that we had and how far we've actually come down. So we got down past the 0.618, probably to that 0.786, and now we're trying to fight back up through that 0.5, see if we can go tackle that 0.382, which would put us up around that 170 region. So I always pay attention to that type of stuff, guys. Just see how much retracement we have. You can also do the reverse of it as well, looking at our fibs. So stepping back like this, we can just kind of see where we can get up to. So we're challenging that 0.382, which is going to be at 145. Then will be that 0.5, which is going to be at 167. But I like to see the momentum that Sol had coming into it. That's what I like to trade, guys. When we really start getting those nice runs, I want to be a part of that. I would just ask for a little bit more volume down in that range. But this is what I have time to get to today, guys. If you get something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be patient. We have some good things going on. God bless you all. Take care.